people, they tend to get knocked off when they badmouth NASA.
Well, see, and that was precisely what I wanted to get at, is that when a conspiracy is a conspiracy, and very much obviously is, you'll see a lot of people that are allegedly involved trying to speak out and then suddenly dying in suspicious circumstances.
Yes. And as another thing, too, I would like to bring up, a lot of people will ask, well, how could they have kept this so secret all these years? How could so many people have been kept quiet? Well, first of all, I would like to point out, as I mentioned earlier, the Russians, they had their own moon project, the N1. That was kept under wraps for 30 years, and no one spoke up about that until the fall of the Soviet Union. So if the Russians could keep such a huge secret under wraps, and so could the United States. And furthermore, it's not like everyone at NASA would have actually needed to be in on the conspiracy, because here's the thing, right? You might have seen the videos of the technicians at Houston, looking at their monitors and stuff like that. Well, those guys,
kind of like the Situation Room videos when Obama was watching SEAL Team 6 kill the fake Bin Laden.
I guess so. Anyways, the guys at Houston, they simply read what's on the computer screens. They don't need to know or care where it comes from. They're receiving it from the NASA Manned Spaceflight Network, which has all these different radio telescopes, which are all either owned or owned by NASA, or the guys that are these NASA contractors. They're either NASA employees or NASA contractors, and all they would need to do is simply relay these simulated data over the landlines, and then say it came from the moon. No one would be the wiser. That's how it worked. Because during the simulations, when they were training the Houston technician guys, the simulations were so real that no controller would have been able to discern the difference between the training and the real mission.
Now, I have a question in here from the guy who actually recommended that I interview, named Greg. He asked me, Vinny, can you ask Jarrah about the latest LRO images showing the proof of the Apollo landing sites?
Yes, I mentioned that earlier on the show, but I'll just get back into it again. As I mentioned earlier, NASA sent this probe, the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, to take close-up pictures of the moon, to supposedly show the artifacts, like the lunar module's descent stage, like the module, it actually breaks into two parts, and one portion of it's left on the moon, and then there's the laser reflectors, the flags, the rovers, etc., all this junk that was supposedly left on the moon by the Apollo astronauts. And so NASA, they sent up this probe to take photographs of this junk, but all they ever showed was these little pixels. Like their first pictures came in from 90 kilometers up above the moon, supposedly. All they showed was a bunch of blobs. You couldn't see anything. Then they drops down to 50 kilometers. Still looks sort of like blobs, little, it's somewhat better, but not that good. It still looks like you can't tell if it's a rock or if it's a something that someone was added in Photoshop. It's just pixels. And finally, in last August, they say, okay, we're going to briefly drop down to 25 kilometers above the moon, and take closer images. They drop down to that, and they released the images a few days ago, and guess what? It's still a bunch of pixels. But the landscape looks a bit better, the craters look a bit clearer, but the supposed artifacts, they still look like little white blurred pixels. In fact, some of them are even looking a bit worse than some of the earlier pictures, like I think it was the Apollo 14 image. It looks like it's just like this black splotch with some white portions in it. That's all it looked like in these new pictures. So a friend of mine once said the absolute worst thing to do to someone is build up a bunch of hype and then have no payoff. Well, that's exactly what they've done with these LRO photographs.
Yeah, I know. It's like a bad porn movie. Just no payoff.
Yeah. Even some people have said before that the face on Mars looked more convincing than this, and I agree. I mean, at least with that, you can actually see something that looked like a face. Here, it's just pixels. There's pixels. You can't make heads or tails of it.
Oh, well, I think I can create a new word for that. It's called pixely. They're pixels that are just silly, because, for goodness sake.
Yeah. Another thing, too, about the LRO is that, ironically enough, is that it actually brings up more evidence that calls into doubt the Apollo missions. Like, for example, before the LRO went up, they had these two other missions, the Solini, which was a Japanese mission, and then there was also the Clementine, which was a NASA and United States Defense Department mission. These both photographed the Apollo 15 landing site. They didn't have the resolution to see any artifacts on the surface, but they supposedly photographed this bright portion, which was supposedly the halo, this exposed area where when the lunar module was landing, it has the rocket coming out down the bottom. They believe this was the disturbance caused by the rocket exhaust spreading out across the lunar landscape. And they say, oh, well, here's proof that they went there. But when the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter sent in its photographs of the Apollo 15 landing site, this mysterious halo, as they called it, this mysterious disturbance, it turned out to be a bunch of impact craters that were already there prior to the supposed landing. Because, like, these craters, they're in the lunar orbiter photographs, the pre-Apollo photographs, but they've constantly attributed this region to being the disturbance. But it's just the bright, the sunlit portions of these huge craters. So there's no evidence of any engine disturbance in these photographs at all. So that calls into question because, the exhaust, this kind of disturbance would have been visible from outer space. It would have spread out for about 150 meters. But the only thing
when you found out about this, did you, like Obi-Wan, feel a great disturbance in the Force?
Funny. Yeah, right. Well, anyways, as I was saying, they didn't show any disturbance caused by the lunar module, and there's no way around it because if they're going to be kicking up all this dust and spreading out across the landscape, you'd expect to see some sort of disturbance, but there isn't any. And in fact, if you look at the actual surface pictures, the Hasselblad images that the astronauts supposedly took, you can see that there's even less of a visible disturbance. Like von Braun back in the 1950s, he was proposing this mission to the moon, and he said that the rocket would actually dig up this crater beneath the moonship. The exit pressure of his theoretical moonship was far less than what the Apollo lunar module would have. Like his moonship would have had a 0.14 psi exit pressure, and the lunar module had something like 1.5 psi exit pressure. So this was more than what von Braun was proposing, and what he said that would dig this huge crater in the surface, on the moon. But there is no blast crater underneath the lunar module. In fact, if you look at the photos taken directly into the engine bell, you can see that there are still little dust-sized pebbles and stuff like that under there. There's still little rocks, there's still pebbles, there's still dust grains directly underneath the engine bell. These should have been blown away. Like if you take a hairdryer or a leaf blower, blow dust, it goes away. There's nothing there. And how come there's all these little pebbles directly underneath the engine bell?
Well, what I want to find out is just exactly how the moonlander seemed to detach and float up into space without any rocketry being visible of any kind.
Yeah, that's true. See, the rocket has the ascent stage, which blasts off from the moon, and it has the one rocket engine supposedly launching it. And they say, oh, the rocket plume is supposed to be visible, and yet we have footage from Apollo 9, which shows the lunar module firing its engines, and the plume is quite visible. It originally shows up as a bright plume. And then you can see the engine glowing pretty noticeably. It's quite visible. This is from Apollo 9. So before they had the missions to the moon, they had the Apollo 9 flight, which was an Earth orbit flight. You see, they had 2 Earth orbit flights of the Apollo missions, right? The rest were all moon missions, right? And if you look at the Earth orbit footage showing the lunar module firing its engine, you can see there's the music, or you can see the disturbance. So you see the plumes on Apollo 9, you can't see them on the Apollo moonwalk videos.
Well, see, this is how you know that something doesn't ring true, is when things don't stack up, when they don't match up. Like in any kind of scientific testing method, you make your hypothesis, you make a test to see if your hypothesis is correct and to see if it matches up with previous experiments. If it doesn't match up with the previous experiment, then your hypothesis is incorrect. Then you're supposed to abandon that hypothesis, not try and destroy the facts. You're listening to the Vinny Eastwood Show. My very special guest from Australia is Jarrah White, and we'll be right back after the break.
Airways, bandwidth, disinformation, too bad. Check the labels, delete the virus, alert the masses.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of Heart and Body Extract.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help so it has the tools to heal itself.
Heart and Body Extract gets results. To order your 2-month supply, call now, toll free at 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
The First Amendment in the Bill of Rights limits the government's power by ensuring freedom of speech and preserves the rights of the people. Every day that passes, our rights gradually slip away. It's time to take a stand and let the government know that we are tired of losing our rights. LibertyStickers.com will allow you to express your rights and allow millions of people to see you stand up for what you believe in. LibertyStickers.com carries the largest selection of bumper stickers online, ranging from political to humorous. As always, you can find your favorite stickers that protest the war and the president. Don't see what you're looking for? Liberty Stickers will custom make stickers that will get your message across for all Americans to see. Go to LibertyStickers.com and see pre-made stickers that will get everyone talking. That's LibertyStickers.com or call 877-873-9626. Liberty Stickers, the world's most dangerous stickers.
Feeling stressed, tired, lacking energy, or lacking libido? Now you can take control of your healthcare goals in the privacy of your own home with the use of reliable, high-quality health products from Ideal Health in New Zealand, conveniently delivered to your door anywhere in the world. You'll find our friendly health team offer well-researched health information plus the highest quality health products. We want to ensure you not only get the best value products available, but also ensure you get the fastest therapeutic results. With over 2,600 pages of health information and natural products, all compiled by our friendly naturopathic team. To take advantage of very special rates, click on the banner at AmericanFreedomRadio.com. And don't forget our convenient delivery service, Ideal Health New Zealand, leaders in alternative health. That's AmericanFreedomRadio.com and click on the Ideal Health New Zealand button. Proudly brought to you by the Vinny Eastwood Show.com.
Now you and your family and friends can enjoy the cleanest, most delicious, and healthy drinking water anytime, even while traveling, camping, at sporting events, or in emergency situations. The Berkey Light removes bacteria, cysts, parasites, and harmful chemicals to below detectable levels. It also reduces nitrates and unhealthy minerals like lead and mercury, while leaving in the beneficial and nutritional minerals your body needs. Berkey Light is so powerful, it can even purify raw, untreated water from remote lakes and streams. And the optional PF2 filters even remove fluoride. The Berkey Light LED, with its rechargeable lighting system, can be used as a nightlight or a camp light. To view or purchase your Berkey water system and replacement filters, please visit American Freedom Radio's website at AmericanFreedomRadio.com and click the Berkey banner. Once again, that's AmericanFreedomRadio.com and click the Berkey water banner. Not yet available in Iowa.
No rules, no rules, no taboo topics, no taboo topics, no fear of doom, no fear of doom. We are American Freedom Radio, American Freedom Radio.